The cap rate
and
or
you
cap X.
yeah, and you can Google the formula. I always have to Google
Okay.
the formula. I
Okay,
can't
no
even
worries.
remember it.
No worries. It's a lot of numbers and letters and stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
No worries.
you know,
No worries.
but at least
Absolutely.
I can, I can tell you look into these things, which is good. It just
Hmm.
drives me crazy. You kids, I'm sorry, oh man,
Yeah.
you kids, Google
Uh-huh.
has been around your entire life.
Yeah,
Everything's
100%.
right there at your fingertips. And I know
Hmm.
a lot of kids, even my nieces and nephews, they don't
Hmm.
Google stuff to find out things. I'm
Very
like,
true.
just Google it. Ask
Yeah.
Siri, ask Alexa. You know,
Hmm.
it's like, oh well.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. Like even some of the stuff that I was figuring out, like subject to seller finance, like certain things like escrow or EMD, I'm like, hey, when I get into rooms like this, let me Google the information. That way the questions that I do ask can be a little bit more less Googleable or chat GPT-ish. It's like you know. Mhm.
And I'm just learning GDP,
Yeah.
GED, no
GED,
GPT.
yeah.
I'll get there.
Absolutely, 100%.
Uh,
100%.
it's interesting, and I don't know, it's interesting and it's worrying, but you got to know it,
Yeah. Yeah,
because
very true.
eventually that's where it's going to all be.
Yeah. AI is growing every single day. It's crazy.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
just like everything else, uh, my favorite thing is, you know, in the in the late 1800s, early 1900s,
Hmm.
film was those movies, the flickers, that's a fad.
Mm.
Radio, that's a fad. Television,
Yeah.
that's a fad. I
Hmm.
remember when the games started coming in, Pong. My brother had got a Pong set for Christmas one year, and everybody was like, well, that's a fad, you know.
Yeah.
And computers, oh, you don't want to buy a computer, that's a fad.
Hmm.
Anytime somebody tells me, oh, that's a fad, I know that's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. It's crazy. I
It is.
mean, it's like I think even I think it is like one of probably disruptors since internet in general came out. I think it's like because internet, of course, AI was built off of it, but it's like people are using it in their CRMs now and everything. It's really interesting.
So, okay, internet's been around for your whole life.
Hmm.
I have a question. I love this question. Only a
Okay.
few people can really answer it.
Hmm.
Why was the internet created?
Probably something to do with like the military or the government, something
Oh,
like
very
that.
good answer.
Yeah, I was in the army, so we would use a lot of different.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
And
we
it was
use.
created by the US,
Hmm.
and to be able to connect all of the silos and everything,
Okay.
and you know all that, connect it all together.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
absolutely.
love this conversation. Let's go with another introduction.
Yeah.
Our
Sorry.
first time here. Who are you? What do you do? And what do you need? And let me know if you need some time to unmute or if you're not able to unmute. But yeah, right. Welcome everybody. This is an Underwriting Power Hour. If you have any deals that you would like us to look at and analyze, feel free to email them to Chai. I put the email in the chat. And if you're new, type a one in the chat. I want you guys to introduce yourself. And if you're shy, get over it. This is how you make deals happen. Good job, Justin. You introduced yourself earlier, so that's all the time you get. While we wait for Heather, I think she's only able to chat right now. Dylan, welcome. What's up? Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And what do you need?
What's going on, guys? So I'm a little bit new to Sub 2. My family is looking at getting a couple of co-living properties. And me on the personal side, I'm looking at wholesaling some of those if they don't work for us in our area. So right now, I just need help making sure that when I underwrite a deal, at least somewhat accurate, so that I'm not sending off bad figures to my family or other investors.
Nice. Okay.
Dylan, I got a question for Dylan. Are y'all looking to be part of the pad split, or are you going to self manage?
Well, my mom's been doing a similar role, a similar type of management role for a while. So I imagine at least for the first two or three properties, she could self-manage it and she wants to do that type of thing. But if it gets larger than that, then maybe we'll have to look at an outside management company.
Just curious.
Yeah. I've heard some interesting things about pad split lately. Some people are getting kind of a bad taste in their mouth from how much they're asking for, but that's new to me, so I'm really not too sure.
Yeah, I've heard that as well, that they've increased their fees and increased their prices because, they want to take a bigger piece of the pie. There was one point, one of the guys I talked to, he had 8 beds, 3 bathrooms, and he was grossing something in the neighborhood of like 60,000 a year, and he was netting somewhere, somewhere a little just under half of that,
Hmm.
and it was through pad split. So I mean, it's grossing a lot of money, and so pad split was seeing this, and I wish they would adopt a more uh like um menu type thing. Here's what I want you to do for me, and I could say, this is what I want you to do for me, and this is how much it costs. But I don't have to take everything. I could just take a few things, but it seems right now, it's all or nothing. But they do a lot, they do a lot of the marketing, and a lot of
Sure.
put the people in.
I see a lot of those pad split homes are already filled,
Yeah.
and filled for a long time.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Good, John.
Thank you.
I think that was a good kind of split off. So you are looking for pad splits and you're looking to understand how to underwrite them more. Um, does that mean that you're in need of deals? Like, are you looking to work with wholesalers or are you wholesaling yourself and getting the deals yourself?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. So right now I've been practicing underwriting one this morning. Yeah, it could potentially be for my family. It's in Mesa, Arizona. Though sometimes we find things that aren't in an area that they want to be in. But there is potential there, so I might underwrite that and see if it makes sense. And then if it looks okay, then I'll send that out to other investors in that area.
Cool. So your market is Mesa, Arizona or Arizona?
Yeah, that east side of Arizona for now. At least for them, they have some ideas about going into like Tennessee or Florida and maybe some in Texas too. But I think for now it'd probably be a good idea just to hunker down on one area and get to know it well.
Nice. Smart. I agree. But I'm also asking because it's easier to go like, hi, my name's Jada. I'm a hard money lender. I focus on flips and DSCRs. Flips, I lend in Texas and North Carolina. DSCRs, I'm able to cover nationwide. So I'm looking for more deals and I'm able to offer some funds. So that's kind of a good way to introduce yourself. Quick, succinct. You gave your markets, you gave what you do and what you need. So
Got it. Thank you.
Justin is asking, what is a DSCR? So a DSCR loan is a debt service coverage ratio loan. I probably that in a nicer, kind of smoother way. But it said, yeah, John, exactly. But essentially what a DSCR loan is, and yes, Heather, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself afterwards. But a DSCR loan is, I like to say it's best for rental properties, or kind of it's only for rental properties. So essentially what it does is, instead of looking at your personal income, it looks at what the property can produce in order to give you the loan. So again, if you're buying a rental property, the DSCR loan is great because it'll see your expenses, like your PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And it'll see what kind of rent you're getting. And let's say your PITI is $2,000 and the rent that you're getting is $6,000. You have that $4,000 gap. And because you have that gap, you'll be able to get or the DSCR loan will vary, but you'll essentially be able to use the rental income rather than your personal income to get that loan. And off to you, Heather. Welcome.
Hey guys, how are you? Hey Jada.
Hey,
Sorry,
thanks, Jada.
I was on on a call with a few investors. They are looking to invest in the Denison deal I have, and we are going through some amazing due diligence pieces about the operator, the sponsor, the deal itself. So it was I just couldn't. I mean, they are very important people. I couldn't just get off the call, and I'm so sorry. Awesome. How many? We have a lot of people here today, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Am I right? Awesome. So let's see what we have today. Do we have any deals already that we are going to look at, Jada?
I believe so. So I know that Heather's gonna send you one. Sammy said he sent you one. And
Okay.
there's a couple people not in here that we're gonna send some.
Okay, perfect. Let me pull up right now. Okay. So just to let you guys know again that the time, because of the daylight saving, we are going to have some changes in the schedule. We are sticking to the 12 p.m. Or noon central. So you might have to adjust your time slightly. I apologize for that. If we have a consensus on moving the time, I'm happy to look at it. But for now, this works best for a lot of people that I know. So I'm going to stick to noon central. Just change your calendars. Going forward, we are going to have an event created on our Facebook group. So I want you guys to use that event as to add to your calendar so you don't miss it. Awesome. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I got one in Lancaster, Texas from Samuel Elizondo. What else do I have?
I believe Eric sent one.
Heather sent me another deal in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Awesome. And who else you said? Jada?
I think Eric. Did you say Eric? So
Okay.
Sammy,
So
Eric,
Eric, I don't see your D. Oh, I do. I do. Okay. So he sent it way ahead of time. Oh, it's a fix and flip in Dallas. Okay. So that's the first one that came in. Oh, sorry. There is two of those. There is one Power Hour PML deal. Okay. So we are going to start with Eric's deal first. He sent it, I think, an hour ago almost. All right. Let me share my screen and I'll get started with that.
let's go, Eric. Woo.
Hello,
Hey, Eric, how are you?
what's up, man? Sorry, I sent a duplicate. It's a duplicate.
No worries, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the deal. Let's see where it is in Dallas. Okay, okay, northeast side of Dallas, which is actually good part of Dallas, right?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
did a little bit of looking and it looked like some good houses, a good neighborhood.
So many tabs. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay. Okay, so Zillow, I like to start with Zillow. That's my favorite thing to do. Tell me what's yours, and I mean, let me tell you why Zillow is my favorite. It gives you a Zestimate. Okay, Zestimate is basically an estimate by Zillow. So it's called Zestimate, and it is fairly accurate when the area looks something like this. Okay, something like this. So it has so many houses in that area. So these are all subdivisions. So that's why they have so many comparables. So their algorithm works the best. okay, in areas like this. But if you go rural or if you go countryside, Zillow is not going to be your best bet. Okay. So I like to start off my underwriting with Zillow with any property, especially in Texas. It works really well. I can give it maybe plus or minus 10% depending on how the market is trending. Right now, the way it is, Zillow tends to be very accurate for appraisals. If you're buying a property to hold as a rental, then you can almost, again, this is more expensive property, and I'm going to tell you why this is probably not in line with what it will look like. But if you're buying a cookie cutter rental property around 250 to 350 range, your Zillow is going to be fairly accurate in terms of appraisal, because appraisers are very conservative as of today. Appraisers are not appraising the properties at the top value because the lender's requirements are conservative because of the way the market is. So, but you could, if you did the right updates, you're able to still sell it 10 to 20% higher than Zillow. So when you actually sell it, you can sell it higher, but when you hold it, make sure you use the Zillow number because that's what's going to appraise. So for example, I'm buying a piece of property where Zillow shows 100, but it's actually worth 120. For my buy and hold calculations, I'm going to use 100 because appraisers will more than likely appraise it for 100, considering the way the market is. We actually were able to push back on an appraisal that came out really low, closer to Zillow side. I'll show you that property. So this is a property I flipped to an investor of mine who purchased it as a buy and hold. Great property, all new siding, all new windows, all new like roof, new AC. I mean, everything's practically brand new, new fence. Yet the appraiser, I mean, I know it will sell for over 250, 260 range, easy. Okay. But appraisal came in at like 210. So we were able to push back on this and they increased the value to like 240, 245, somewhere there. They still didn't go all the way. But if I showed you the comps on this one, see how it looks right now and versus what we made it look, it's a pretty big difference. So that's where I want to make sure you understand the difference between the real value and appraised value. It's slightly convoluted to think about it like that. But whenever you're thinking of buy and hold, make sure you look at Zillow and use more conservative number. This one, however, I think Eric is looking at fix and flip exit on this one. So buyer experience is high, project being directed and led by a team of owners clubs of together members with dozens of completed projects. It's great. ARV is 1.25 million. See, like there is a huge difference between Zillow and that. Zillow is probably also showing 775. Again, let's see why this Zillow is showing 775. It's because this property is on market, it looks like. That's why the Zillow doesn't show the actual estimate. When someone is listed, the property, see, property is on market under contract. That's why the Zillow defaults to the listing price. Okay, so your estimate is not going to be accurate in that case. But when you go to Zillow, you need to check for some of these things that I'm going to show you now. Always look for this graph. Okay, so Zillow brought it down to this range, but Zillow used to be up here. Okay, it brought it down because of the listing price. So let's see the actual comps in that area. So because it's Dallas, I can run my own comps and I'm a licensed realtor in Texas. But if you're not, you can always use Zillow to run comps as well. Right. Okay. MLS is not gonna let me, but HR does.
You can use HAR for Dallas.
No, so HAR goes like everywhere, especially in Dallas. So they are trying to make HAR a common MLS for the whole Texas, but currently Dallas has its own thing. San Antonio, Austin have their own thing. Sabor and Abor, and Dallas has something else. But Zillow is also useful in Dallas.
What do you use to comp, Eric?
Right now I'm using Zillow and Privy.
Okay, so we are right above here, next to the Lake Highlands North Park, right behind the church, which is probably also a good thing. Now you want to use 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 3,400 square feet. How old is it? 10,000 square feet lot, which is good. Dallas land is getting more and more expensive every day. Oh, 1982 build. Okay. Single family. Okay. Okay. So in this area, we have almost a $1 million comp, $1.3 million comp, because this is they show the range, but price is right in between there. Because this is not actual Houston. There is a comp for 1.3 million here. So let's first see the lower end comp to make sure these are actually non-flipped properties. It's a good looking property, still somewhat of an older touch to it. Okay, flooring is original, cabinets, everything's been kept up with, but just not upgraded to the modern standards. Let's see the 1.3 million now, see how big a difference that is. Not a whole lot, but yeah, there is some decorative wall, new cabinets, okay. Okay, yeah, new kitchen, new flooring, okay, new
Hey Chad,
cabinet.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Whenever you were running the comps on how far back did you go? You went all the way to 2023 of last year?
I'm running 1 year in this
Well,
case.
1 year?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's recent market typically, year, or is it sooner, like earlier?
Recent market. Sorry, what did you say?
I said like, is that like more of like what's selling in
Yeah,
this market now? Okay.
correct. Uh-huh. So I'm just looking at 1.3 million product, how it looks like. And that's what we need to know because we want to see if the buyer or the borrower is capable of
Selling.
delivering this type of product.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to deliver product like this. I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do this for a living. Okay, why do they have? Isn't this weird? Same kitchen, different backsplash. That
Yeah.
was old and this is new. Is that what they want to show? Or they probably put an older picture in there. That's weird. They painted this brick possibly, or no, this is tile. Okay. Okay, that. Okay, that's weird. Okay, also this is bigger square footage. Let's see. This one is also, this is lower square footage, so it's good thing. 1.3, another one is under contract, which is a good thing. 9 days under contract, really nice product delivered. New staircase, done well. Okay. So let's see how long it took to sell. 151 days on market. Wow, okay. And this one, 50 days on market. Okay. Okay. So now looking at these pictures, okay, there is a new roof on the house that we are flipping. Okay, we'll have to see what we do with this paneling, maybe paint over it. A lot of wallpaper. Her room is slightly upgraded. Again, paneling. I think it's a good house, just needs a lot of updates. I think new cabinets are probably required. So I would say for a project like this, 150 in rehab is a good number to go with. We need a good contractor. I mean, I would even encourage using one of the contractors from those two projects. So now let's look at the numbers. Purchase price 795. They're buying it higher than the market listing price. I don't know why. Rehab 110, loan amount is requested is 95, which means they are looking for a second position lender. Is that
It's
right?
for a fund, right? Looks like
Sorry.
it. Does it look like it's for a gap fund?
Yeah, it does look like. Is that right? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
second
So,
lien on
yeah.
property. They are also showing it here. So let's see.
What does a rehab SOW mean?
Rehab, uh, uh, not statement of what do you call SOW is
Scope of work.
scope of work.
Okay.
So 795,000. Okay. I'm not gonna put it in the spreadsheet. This is the easiest calculation you should be able to do on a calculator. Okay. 795 is purchase price plus 110,000 in rehab. Okay. $905,000. Okay. If you pay 3 points origination, 12% interest rate annualized for 6 months plus 2% in closing cost. that is 3 plus 2 plus 6, 11% in total financing cost. Okay. So I will multiply this by 1.11, 11%. That's all in. Okay. And here they haven't really, so I'm just using hard money calculation for this 95,000 as well, but more than likely they are going to have to pay more for this second lien. Okay. So now they are all in at little over million. So you need to, let's say if they are able to sell this for 1.25 million conservatively, minus, or sorry, times 0.92. Why 92? Because you have your agent, you have buyer's agent, and you have closing cost. Okay, so 3% plus 3% plus 2% closing cost. So total 8%. So I'm going to deduct 8% from the selling price. That's 1.15 million minus 1 million. So that's 150,000 in profit. Minus, I would also add taxes and insurance for 6 months, which is the holding cost, mine and utilities. So taxes, insurance for this type of house will be, so just keep the 150,000 in mind. Taxes for $1 million house at 3% is 30 grand. Okay. Minus 30 grand times 0.5 because you're only holding it for 6 months. So that's 15,000 in taxes plus around 3,000 in insurance, which means you're paying 1,500. Okay. Plus utilities for that big of a house, I'm gonna assume around $500 to $700 a month. Okay. So that's around $4,000. That's everything. Plus your rehab contingency of at least $20,000 because things go wrong in projects. So 40 grand. So you're going to knock off 40 grand from your 150 grand profit. So you're left with closer to $100,000, which is around in the ballpark of 8 to 10% of the total project cost. Okay. That's not considering second position interest, I mean, higher interest for second position deal. So if I was the flipper, I need to be, so here is my like 2 cents on this project. Okay. Looking at these comps, that 1.2 million can go down to $1 million very quickly considering days on market. Okay. I mean, there is still good amount of comps. There is 1.4 million here. Okay. On a 8,000 square feet lot, another almost 1.3 million is this third. This is similar square footage. So, but again, look at this one. This is 1.1. If your price can fluctuate within 5 to 10% easily on a flip, easily. If you don't do a good job, the contractors don't deliver good finishes. When you're dealing with such high-end product, you need to make sure your team is absolutely perfect. Okay. So depending on who this borrower is and what their experience is, now this comes down to the borrower, not the project, because project by itself is not delivering. I mean, you are in a risky position for your 95 grand guaranteed. So you need to ask two questions to these borrowers. Okay. First of all, you need to know what this means. Like this high is very vague. Okay.
Mhm.
Their experience high doesn't mean anything to me. I want to see the actual projects. I want to see how much they sold for, how fast they turned them around. Is it the same contractor? How many flips they've done in their career? Then I want to know how much loan amount they are getting from the hard money lender. Okay, how much they are actually putting out of pocket, if at all anything. then because if they take your 95 grand and then hard money lenders, whatever, 800 grand, they have nothing to lose. They can just walk away tomorrow if they wanted to. Okay. Just sign it over to the second position lender and then it's your problem. So as a second position lender, you are in a risky position because you are lending them above 70% of the market value of this property. Okay. You are
Mhm.
lending higher than usual, which is fine. That's what second position lenders do. But in order for second position lender to come out stronger, they really need to do due diligence on the borrower, the sponsor of this project, or whoever, whatever you call it, lead manager of this project. So that is my 2 cents on this. I have 3 projects in Austin where we have a second position lender, and we just paid them flat 15% on in one case because that was a last minute raise we did. I don't usually do this, but I just want to get used to raising money for projects. So that's why I ended up doing that with them. With that being said, if you are not a sophisticated lender, you need to really, really make sure you do a deep dive on your first deal. And this should not be your first deal. Okay. I don't
Okay.
recommend this to be your first deal as a PML. Someone like John or what's her name from Dallas? I forgot. What's that lady, John, that she comes to our Gator calls? Diane Oquist. Diane is a great resource to talk to. John is a great resource. They have done multiple deals, so they know, they have a really strong gut feeling. Okay. And because I also have good gut feeling, I'm telling you, as a first time PML, do not get into this project because this is a higher end project where
Right.
you can really hit it out of the park when you do a good job, and you can really suck at selling when you do a poor job. So it can go either way for you. Okay. And it's not consistent across projects. Things change. So that's what I would say on this deal. Any questions? Anything I missed?
Um, what if I was able to bring an experienced lender to the deal? Like just kind of connect them to it.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
by all means.
Mm. And you were just talking about questioning the actual borrower, like his credibility on how much is high, on how many deals he has done, right?
Yes. You need more information from the borrower.
On the
So if you are a connector in this deal, are you a connector? Am I, or you
I
want to
was
invest?
looking I was looking at more because I don't right now I don't have any capital. So I have somebody that has capital, that has experience.
Okay.
So I was gonna bet this deal, so that's why I wanted to underwrite this
So
and make sure I was
I wouldn't borrow to lend just yet.
hmm
I would I I would, like, if you are a connector and you are bringing in an experienced lender to the table, then let them take the risk. Tell them, hey, give me a connector fee and I'm off the hook, basically. That's what you're
okay,
saying without saying it. And you make your money and give them all the proper information. Okay. Give them information about the buyer's experience, give them how much the hard money lender is putting, give them the amount of money that borrower is actually putting out of pocket, if any. Uh, and then they should be able to make that decision themselves. Okay. So do not borrow the money from them in order to invest it here. Then you will be trapped in the middle if things go wrong. And I've seen
right.
that happen with a lot of people. It's a huge waste of time.
In my opinion, because I know that area fairly well,
Yeah,
and those houses, and I would say that this, in order to get 1.2 million, this rehab is going to have to be closer to 150 to 175.
exactly. So that wipes out everything. I mean, I just put 20 grand contingency, 130, but that's exactly, I'm in line with John. That's what I said earlier, 150, 170. again, you may be really good at what you do. I mean, your contractors may be really, really good. If that is the case, you could do this rehab for a lot less. But that's what you need to find out by what this word high really means. Okay. Just because they throw in the names of all these communities doesn't mean anything to me. Okay.
Mhm.
Because these communities don't really focus on flipping. Okay, that's
Right.
not what they specialize on. If you bring me a community like Flipping Mastery, and they are member of that, then I would say yes. Okay, these communities they have different purposes, right? So that doesn't really say anything about their experience. But
Okay.
yeah, great point, John. All right, good luck, man. Good luck, Eric. Let me know how it goes.
Okay,
And
I will.
looking at some questions here in the chat. Yes, Texas taxes are ridiculous. Okay, 3%. Yes, it is possible. In some areas in Houston, where they are building new homes, taxes are 4%. 4. Not even
My
kidding.
gosh.
It's insane. That's why when Californians move to Texas thinking that they are buying they can buy 5 houses for the price of one. They are not thinking straight because the taxes are going to eat them alive. It's it's ridiculous. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't have state tax, but this is what we do,
Yeah.
and kind of penalizes the investors in a way.
Yeah. The property taxes are more in Texas for investors than they are in California.
Yeah, 100%. So what else we have in the questions? And this is what I really want, like amazing job with lot of activity in comments. I'm telling you, you need to put yourself out there, share your number, share your details. You need to tell everyone and shout from the top of the mountain about what you want. If you don't tell, nobody will know. You need to tell what you want. I'm not going to come and guess what you want. Okay. Or none of the people here. So engaging in comments is one way to do it. Going to events is another way to do it. But going to events where they have free drinks and getting wasted is not the way to do it, because that's not going to lead to any meaningful conversations. Okay.
And,
Unless, yeah, you're
and
looking for
Eric,
something else.
um,
What's
I
up,
get
man?
email deal requests all the time, and I get a lot of people who say, "Well, I think they're going to do this, and I think they're going to do that, and I think it's going to be about." I don't want to hear that. I
Yeah,
want to hear exact numbers. So make sure
exactly.
they're telling you exact numbers, and they're not only telling you this, they're backing it up with the paperwork to
Yeah,
show.
Okay.
so true.
So if I ask them how much rehab is gonna cost, and right here it says like 110,000, it needs to be on paper.
Yeah, they should have a budget. What are they going to do? Why is it going to cost
Okay.
110? Why is it not going to cost 210? They should have a list of exactly what they're going to do. Are they going to replace the cabinets? Or are they going to paint the cabinets and replace the doors? Or are they just going to paint the cabinets and doors?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so
Because I'm telling you, what John is saying is so important, because I mean, flipping is a science, okay, in itself. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if there was a real estate uh, course, or if there was a formal education, I would think flipping would be a completely like one semester. What do you call it? Three. I mean, you get certain credits. I think it will be a 3 to 5 credit course in its own, because there is so much in flipping, where you source your materials from. For this type of product, I mean, I have tried it. I'm trying it in one of the properties that what I do is I have this ninja trick that I remove all these fronts and just change the doors to make the cabinets look newer. Okay. but that is very special work and you need very specific people to do that. Because if you, and that is only recommended below like 350, 400 range. Okay. Because that's where the buyers are going to not be very picky. But buyers who are able to spend $1 million+ in Texas on their house, they are going to demand. That's going to really lower the quality of your rehab if you do what I'm saying you should do. I mean, I'm not saying you should do. I'm saying uh,
What you
I'm saying
can
I'm
do.
doing it in one of the
Right.
projects. You shouldn't do it in this projects, this type of project.
And you can always find a realtor who works in that area
Yeah.
and talk to them. What are the people looking for? Are they looking for the painted cabinets, or do they want the wooden cabinets, the wood finish cabinets? Do they, so that's
So
always a good thing to do too, is talk to a realtor who deals with these properties, and see.
yeah,
So
no,
just
that's
ask
a great point.
what's like
Realtors are going to
popular
give
right
you.
now.
Okay, awesome. So let's move on to the next one. I'm sorry, I kind of go on tangents sometimes because this
Thank you,
is
Chad.
a very passion project for me.
I mean, you kind of learn a lot from your tangents too, so kind of don't
No problem, man. Thank you.
mind it.
All right, let's see. Heather has sent us a deal in Stone Mountain. Heather, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Chai. And obviously, I didn't know about the rules about the template and stuff, so I literally just sent you the address and that
No,
was
you're
it.
fine. That's what we're gonna. So another thing, I don't know if you've attended last few calls, but what we
Mm-mm.
like to do once in a while is whoever wants to volunteer and do this, I'm happy to do it with them. We call it commentary underwriting. Okay, what commentary underwriting is, you just do your own underwriting based on what you learned in this community, and just walk us through your thoughts. We want
Mhm.
to see inside your brain. That's what we do. Again, you don't have to do it right now. I'm just saying for future. I will
Mhm.
kind of do it. And then we will modify those thoughts for you. So that way it's faster learning, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But we'll do it another time. Let's see how we do it. I know. Is it your first
Okay.
time attending this call, Heather?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So our team is looking at this property to acquire it either as a pad split, group home, something for veterans, seniors, foster kids that are aging out of the system, things like that.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Mhm.
this type of strategy is my favorite strategy. Anything you
Mhm.
buy and hold in your portfolio and find a way to cash flow. Okay.
Mhm.
Because it's kind of weird to think, like when you're starting in real estate, that you should be holding properties before you learn to fix them. It's weird to think like that. But the reason it's true is because when you decide to hold something, then you can decide to skimp out on the rehab, because you are not renting it to some high-end renters, or you're not uh, offering it to some high-end buyers that are going to pick on every little thing. So even if you go wrong on the rehab, and there is more to go wrong on the rehab side than actually finding a way to cash flow.
Mhm. Correct.
It is very important to learn to hold properties. And by holding more properties and getting involved in more rehabs, then you will become a better rehabber and flipper. Because
Mhm.
rehabbing and flipping needs experience, and that can actually come from buy and hold, which is exactly what happened to me. It's weird to think that, and a lot of people, even I never thought of it myself like that. Uh, it just like I just had like a aha moment in my head while I was talking through this previous rehab, that okay, how did I get here? Like, how did I learn to do bigger rehabs? I didn't know how to do bigger rehabs. If it were my first project, the $1 million house, I would have failed miserably. I would have stopped
Mhm.
dabbling in real estate altogether. But only because I decided to buy and hold and buy and hold and buy and hold until for like 10 years before I started flipping high-end deals. Now I'm comfortable. Not only that, I have huge cash flow to back me up in case I make mistakes. So great job of that. I mean, uh, thinking of holding it. Also, holding has long-term benefits. So let's see what we are looking at. So for your strategy that you have in mind, just by looking at pictures, not going in depth, I can tell you this is a pretty light rehab. Am I right? Is that what you're thinking too?
Yes, correct.
So I would just make this like put epoxy on it, maybe change some faucets here and there if you want to make it look fancy. Change the carpet, paint walls, change electrical plates here and there. Windows probably have been changed at some point, I can see. Cabinets are in the top shape. Maybe if you open the bottoms, you're going to see some rot. So those can be repaired easily. So just paint, change some fixtures, put some fancy mirrors, faucets again, epoxy the tub. I would put some clear coat on these tiles to make it a little shiny. That was one trick one of my corner carpenters showed me recently. Or you could just
Nice.
paint over these tiles. If some are broken, I would just fill it up with cement and paint over it with epoxy. It looks like, so that's another way to skimp out and look fancy at the same time. Let's see. House looks pretty good from outside, some minor repairs here and there. The roof did look good from the front side. I wouldn't touch the roof unless you tell me it's leaking or something, but it is, there is some age on it, but I mean, the roofs, people overthink about roofs sometimes. I mean, I have bought properties in 2017. The roofs looked horrible at that time. We are in 2024. I haven't heard one complaint from a tenant about any leaks. So, I mean, I'm almost closer to getting 10 more years out of the roofs that someone told me to change on the first day. So, I would paint this like wood finishes. I don't know about Georgia, but in Texas, wood finishes are kind of on the way out unless you keep them very tastefully. Um, so all in all, I mean, it's not a huge rehab that I can see here. Great property. So let's look at the numbers. First, what is your purchase price on this?
This is very much in line with where we would want to be. We're pretty much looking for anything under 300. So this falls in that line perfectly.
So is this the purchase price, 225?
I mean, we would offer them something lower. I don't remember how many days on market, but I think it's more than 30.
Okay, no, but are you buying it for 225 or are you buying it higher? You're saying.
Oh, no, we would offer lower.
Oh, you haven't made an offer yet.
We have not made an offer yet. We just looked
Oh,
at it yesterday. Honestly, it is brand new.
oh, fantastic.
We're
Okay.
still doing our own underwriting on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it for you then.
Okay.
Okay. So a
Great,
nice
thanks.
little area, a lot of let's see what part. So east of Atlanta. Right out. Is this considered a good suburb or is this farther out, more countryside?
No, that's still a suburb area. That's still
Okay.
close enough to Atlanta where all the action is. Yeah. It's not rural or anything like that.
So always look for this dip. So sometimes property is on the market and the Zillow automatically adjusts to that dip. But the Zillow itself was showing 280, 290 value not too long ago. Okay.
Okay.
So that means you are in line with that 300 number. And if I were you, I mean, if this was in Texas, I can get this property up and running for under 10 grand. Easy. Because again, I run my own subs, I have my full team of contractors in-house. But even if you don't, Facebook Marketplace is the place where you find people. Okay. That's the
Okay.
new Craigslist. So for anybody who is looking to rehab properties for cheap, find some small crew contractors, which means the contractor himself is working on the project with their crew, and the crew is no more than 4 to 5 people. That's the type of crew you need for buy and holds. And that is the easiest thing to do. Make sure you do not overpay them, because as soon as you overpay them, they are going to get spoiled and it's going to be your problem. Even though
Right.
they are good people, they just cannot handle money because they are not sophisticated individuals like big box contractors. Oftentimes, they are going to be less educated than you, and you are going to have hard time explaining them, okay, even if I paid you, you have to do your work. No, for them, they got paid. They need to go party, relax. That's how their brain works. So their low performance is a result of you overpaying them, which makes it your mistake, not their
Got it.
mistake. It's
That makes
just how,
sense.
I mean, I'm not talking to you only, Heather. I know, I think you probably are more experienced. I'm just making a point to the community while we are on the topic. So,
Yeah, no, that's a good point because a lot of people don't think about that.
because I had a great contractor, one of my closest friends, I hired him as my project manager because he wanted to learn real estate. And it's my mistake that I gave him 10 projects to manage at the same time. And I told him, you need to try, learn to manage more remotely, because he used to go to these projects every day. And I'm like, you cannot, you will burn out. And he took it to heart and stopped going to projects altogether. And my contractor would call him, oh, Mr. Joel, I need $5,000 for tiles. Oh, Mr. Joel, I need this for that. So he kept sending him money without checking if the material is already delivered or not, or is he even buying it. So until after we were out 40, 50 grand, I was like, Joel, what's happening? So then he went and checked, and I lost a good contractor because he spoiled him. And then there was, I mean, the water was under the bridge. We had lost the relationship and lost the money with it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so lesson learned for me that time. So that's what happens. Managing contractors is good when you are doing buy and holds, because you are going to make less mistakes compared to a flip. Let's see. Take a look at the comps. Okay. Just north of this Biffle Park. Okay. So it's right here. Our square footage is 2340, 4 bedroom, 3 bathrooms, 1985 on 0.3 acres lot, which looks like pretty consistent everywhere. The lots are that size, right? So for sale, or let's go for sold. Bedroom, 3 bath. Year built 1990. And your comps are 250. It's a pretty simple one, 2000 square feet. Put a minimum. Yeah, so I think 300 is easily achievable. In my opinion, we can remove this boundary. See on this side, 300. I'm sure these are all the same as maybe distressed type properties. Looks like it from some. But yeah, since you're holding this property, it is you can keep it a little conservative based on my last comment because the appraisers are conservative right now. If you are going to buy this and fix it tomorrow and try to refinance it within a month or so, which is probably doable, your calculation is going to look something like this: 300 times 0.75 times 0.75, it's 225. So your loan amount is going to be around 225 unless you have the ability to use conventional loan product, which can go up to 80%. But if you are doing DSCR, and if you are doing DSCR, Jada can help you, by the way. I don't know if you had tried to work with her before. So Jada brokers DSCR loans. So when you buy this until you refinance it, what is your plan? Are you planning to get a hard money loan for this, or is this a self-funded cash deal?
We would probably get a hard money loan. And it really just depended on the size of the rehab, is if we got a fix and flip loan and then refi it out with a DSCR.
Okay. So if you do get a hard money loan, the hard money lenders do not exceed 70%. So you'll get a loan for 210. So you'll be bringing 15,000 plus loan fees of say 5% of this, 10 grand plus 15 grand. So your funds to closing is about 25 grand. Okay. And what is your experience in general in flipping, holding, lending, anything in real estate?
I've been more on the lending and wholesaling side. So
Okay.
this would be my first holding property, and I've never done a flip. No.
Okay. Okay. So if you're definitely, then who is in your team that you mentioned our team is looking at buying this?
Oh, we have a group of ladies in Atlanta.
Okay.
But one of the people who is our closers, we actually have two closers. They're very experienced. So we could definitely partner with them as far as, for the
Oh,
hard money loan part
I'm
of it, if we
asking,
needed to.
my question is more in terms of managing the group home that you're.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. The gentleman who is in our team, who's one of our closers, is very experienced. He would be the one who has the most experience.
Does he currently have any holding rental properties, any buy and holds, short-term rentals, group homes, anything in his portfolio?
He does. Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's got some MTRs and short term.
Okay. No group homes yet?
No group homes. No.
Okay.
He normally,
So
he
you
goes the
can
other way. Yeah.
do a pad split of some kind, basically, something like that.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So we can look at pad split to determine your cash flow on this. Okay, so good thing for you is that there is several houses, but that could also be a bad thing depending on. So you have 169 for a bedroom, 223 for a bedroom here. So if you go with that number, $170 per week per bedroom, you have 4 bedrooms and you have a bigger house, so you could possibly do 5 or 6 bedrooms in that house. Is that what your plan?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay. So let's say let's stay conservative with that number.
Okay.
So $170 times 5 times 4 weeks of the month. It's 3,400 times 0.92 because 8% is what pad split charges you.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna add maybe a contingency of 300 for maintenance, which is about 10% of your rent, which is a normal number in the market. I can show you years of data, doesn't change. I don't know, it's just magic somehow. Like we have hundreds of properties. At the end of every year, I look at my numbers, my maintenance is 10%, always 10%. It's just funny. So minus 300 for maintenance, minus two, 200 for vacancy, 7-8%. So you're gonna end up with 26, 28. Maybe if there is any management fee, which is pretty good number, by the way, for a $225,000 loan. And then for a $225,000 loan at 7.25, which is what's going rate? What's a going rate? What's the insurance like in that area? 2,000.
Probably 2 to 3 for
Okay, let's
that.
put
Yeah, probably
25.
closer to 25. Yeah, do that.
And home, oh, that's property tax. Sorry. And what's the property tax like? 1%, 1.5?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so 1% is gonna be 3,000. I'm just gonna call it 5,000.
Mhm.
And 2,500 here. So your monthly payment is gonna be around 2,159, and we looked at your total net in hand is around 2,600. So
Mhm.
26.
And how many bedrooms did you calculate for that?
5.
5? Okay, got it.
So you have about $469 cash flow times 12 months, which is 5628. Okay, so keep that number in mind, around 5,600. Okay, that's your
Okay.
cash.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean anything if I don't tell you how much money I invested. If I invested $1 million in that house and my cash flow is 5,600, that really sucks, right?
Yes.
But if I invested $10,000 and my cash flow is 56, that's amazing. That's 56% return. So to calculate how much you invested in that deal is you're buying it for 225, okay?
Mhm.
Plus you're gonna pay around around 7 to 8% in financing, because your financing is gonna quickly, I mean, you're going to refinance very quickly in this case. You're not going to wait 6 months. So let's call it 3 months, which is 3% plus 3 points of origination plus 2 points. So total 7 to 8%. Okay. So times 1.08, you're all in 243 plus a 15,000 rehab. So you're all in 258. Okay. Minus 225, which is your loan amount. So you're out of pocket 33,000 in this deal, out of pocket. So conservatively, your total cash flow for the year is 5,600. Divide that by 33,000. So it's 16.96%. So 17% is a pretty good cash flow. You can dedicate, if you raised money for this project, you can pay your partner, the capital partner 10% and still keep the 7%. And then work your way up from there and try to add more bedrooms in this house. Maybe if there is a game room, convert that. Maybe living room, convert that. So put people in there. It's gonna cash flow today as is, and then maximize from there. Okay. So that maximize is going to only add to your bottom line. Okay. because you already factored in all the expenses. So even if you add 10%, all of that money is yours. Even if you add one tenant, that's going to add $800 cash flow all of overnight. One bedroom is going to add $800 to your pocket, or maybe 700 after paying the pad split or whatever, whoever you use. So 2 more bedrooms and you're going to kill it in this house. But make sure that is your plan. So going in,
Right.
you need 5 bedrooms to make this work. Going
Oh,
in.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So make
Yeah.
sure you focus on that. Looks like a good pad split market. There is a lot of activity here. So I'm sure you will do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would typically add 6 to 7 is the sweet spot for the bedrooms, and then add another bathroom. So
I
you've got
don't
more private baths.
typically lend in Atlanta area, in Georgia in general, but I will consider it if you are looking for a hard money lender in this. But
Okay.
you have to
All right.
find a second position lender if you guys are not putting money out of pocket. So you are going to need about 25 grand to come to the table, closing table, and then another 10 to 15 to do the rehab and whatnot.
Do you know who Alexa and Abraham Gray?
Yes,
They
definitely.
do Georgia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they will also
Absolutely, they do. Yeah.
But
Yeah, she's a friend of
I
mine.
don't know if they allow second position. Just check with them if you end up lending from them.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Ty. I appreciate you.
Look, any other questions?
Thanks,
Anybody
John.
did not follow anything I said? Feel free to drop a question.
I have a separate question.
Yes. Hey, what's up, Marvin?
Hey, Ty. So this is actually about the motel that I mentioned. I don't think it was last week or the week before last in
Right.
South Dakota.
Yeah.
So I know I don't really want. I prefer not to go over it. But, I can just email it to you privately. That works.
Okay. Yeah.
But the numbers are like they're really great. Like I don't know if the like broker really knows how to analyze commercial. It's at
Okay.
about like a 20 cap right now. So just seeing if you have any connections or any buyers for motels in North Dakota or South Dakota. It's definitely a deal.
Yeah, I don't know much about North or South Dakota, but I can send it to me. Let me send it to someone I
Gotcha.
know. And don't keep high hopes from me on that. I don't like to commit
Yeah,
on what I can't deliver. But yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to you on that, Marvin. I know one guy who does a lot over there.
There you go.
Sweet.
Awesome. All right.
Sounds good.
What else do we have? I have some family in town, so I got to wrap it up real quick. Let me just go over one or two, and then the rest we will take on the next one.
Cool. We had 2 more. So we had Sammy's and Jen Simmons.
Okay, and then Robert Harris is in this call today?
Let's see. Yes.
Okay, so they sent me one in Kingsville, which is awesome deal. Purchase price 81,000. Lipstick rehab. Are you buying duplex for 81,000, Robert? Or each
Yeah,
side
it's
is
yeah,
81?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
Robert Harris. Okay, that's you, Robert.
yeah, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, a wholesaler has it and they have it for 81.5. It's a duplex. It needs some work. I went down there with another guy the other day and looked at it because he was trying to buy it for a Section 8 property. Didn't work out for him. He called me and said, if I want it, buy it. And I've been looking at it in, every respect that I can think of. And it seems like a deal, but I don't know. I want your opinion.
Let's see.
It's
Okay.
hard to find
Let
comps.
me
It's
look at
hard
Sammy's
to
deal real quick. And
hard to find anything. There's one exactly like it next door, literally on the same property, that is completely rehabbed, that is listed for 219.
Yeah, I believe it. I know Kingsville very well. It's in my backyard. But yeah, let's
So,
get to Sammy's deal real quick, and then
yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
real quick. Okay, it's in Lancaster, Texas.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah. I'll show you where. So Lancaster, Texas is just south of Dallas. Okay, so it's basically in DFW area. Great area overall. Let's see the Zillow. 2,900 square feet. By the way, I was gonna look at a couple other things on other properties, but always check for schools. Okay, you need to, and again, schools don't make or break the deal every time. Unlike some popular opinion about schools, because guess what? When schools are really shitty, it's gonna reflect in property values in that area, and you as an investor who understands underwriting is going to go off of the values of that area and then buy at 70% minus repairs. So every area performs at certain standard because of the schools, but just because the schools are bad doesn't make your deal bad altogether, because you are going to pay accordingly. Okay, you're not going to pay the same price as if the schools were great. So, but the reason you look at schools is because you want you want to know what type of area you're dealing with. If the schools are 5 and above, you are generally going to get a really good like tenant applications if you are interested in holding this type of property. If it's below 5, doesn't mean you're going to get bad applications by default, but it's possible that it's gentrifying that area. That's why it's hot area. So you will get a mix of applications, but when you really get closer to 2, 2, 3, 1 like range of schools, then you are gonna have to worry about the security of your property as well. Because if you leave it vacant, you are gonna have some incidents because of the quality of the neighborhood sometimes. So again, I have dealt with properties in schools that dealt with properties in areas where the schools are 1, 2, and I've been able to do fine. I have lost my shirt on certain deals in really bad areas, so I prefer not to touch anything below this type of range because I get a lot of deals. Okay, but if you are able to deal with the challenges that come with it, then by all means go lower, because sometimes you can hit it out of the park in lower areas. I mean, uh, not lower areas. I mean, the school's rating is lower. Anyhow, so that's about schools. Let's see this house. This is a Zestimate. What are we? What are the numbers like? List price 23 days on market. So this is a sub 2 deal, Sammy.
Yeah. So I did some quick numbers on it, and when I talked to her, and I
Okay.
told her that the entry fee was like way too high, especially because it's $42,000 in arrears, you know.
Yep.
So I told her she was going to have a hard time getting this property off. The seller just wants to basically get it done, like walk away from it pretty much. I told her the only way we can get this done is to bring that fee down. So I basically told her that the seller probably wouldn't get anything, and I negotiated her agent fee down to 5,000.
Okay. And they are okay with
So
that.
yeah, and I just put in some rough estimates on there, and that's why I brought it here today.
Do you
Kind of
have,
see.
do we have pictures here?
That's the only one. Yeah, I tried to look for them. I went through Privy, I went through Redfin, Realtor.com,
Definitely doesn't
and
look like
yeah,
that.
it didn't have any other pictures other than that one.
Okay. So I would be interested in this deal if you can show me the pictures, and if I don't have to touch a lot inside the house,
Hmm.
I could, and then I'm just going to show you why I'm interested. Okay. Let's look at this school. Okay. In this school, what I like to look for is this. Okay. I want to see a huge Hispanic population in that area. That's my goal. If I see large Hispanic population, which unfortunately this area doesn't have, but I know some areas in this part of Dallas are really like changing demographically. So I'm gonna ask my local partner over there, who happens to be a big lawyer, also very active in uh, owner finance world. So we will buy this property together as a sub two and then try to owner finance it. We have couple properties struggling in that very area, and for those exact reasons, because of lack of Hispanics in that area. But I'm gonna run it by him, see what he thinks. Otherwise, if you are buying this for a rental and especially Section 8, your numbers are gonna look somewhere like this: 700 in 700, 800, 900, and plus 15, 2450, about 2500.
And
So
that came off the mortgage statement that she sent me. Those numbers there for the principal and interest, PMI, property taxes,
yeah,
hazard
I mean,
insurance.
that's pretty accurate, because this hazard insurance is going to go up when you buy. Anybody buys this, their insurance is going to double
Right.
almost. Your payment is around 2600. So if someone is buying this for a group home, a mid-term rental, short-term rental, this can work. But for wrap around mortgage, there is very specific need of Hispanics in that area, which this one does not fulfill. So it might just struggle
She did
because
mention the Section 8 around that area is paying $3,100 a month for similar houses.
we can verify that instantaneously.
Yeah, that's really high.
This is a 4 bedroom, am I right?
Yeah, it's 4.2 or 4.3. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that is not true, 3100, and I'll tell you why. So the 3100 is what shows up on their voucher. Okay,
Hmm.
sorry. Okay. So 3100 is what shows up on their voucher, but that doesn't mean they will actually get 3100. The way Section 8 authority works is they give out a voucher and they give you a limit of the rent. And I really need to shout from the top of the mountain about this all the time in all my Zooms, because I'm the one who kind of unleashed the Section 8 animal into this whole sub 2 world. And everybody started putting their Section 8 numbers on their marketing of the property that they send out, marketing material. And everybody's making the same mistake of sending out, oh, 3100, because they go to the Section 8 authority, look at payment standards, and then they see how much it's going to pay.
Right.
And that number is a reference. Okay, that's how much up to that number Section 8 authority is going to pay. But they are not going to just uh, make themselves like blind to the comms. They are going to run the comms, check how much the market is demanding, and based on that, they will probably adjust their number up or down slightly. So this is how you actually get exact number what it's going to pay, the maximum, because I just rented a property and I'll show you 5812 Gideon. I rented this property. It's a 3-bedroom. This is on the north side of Dallas. And these are the numbers I have. Oh my God, this is amazing. So they approved me, my tenant for 2500, 2528 for this property. So you may be right. For all I know, they may go up slightly. I was, because I couldn't remember what we looked at. Let me see. Okay, maybe I want to check if it's a 4-bedroom voucher or 3-bedroom voucher that I have. So there is also some other factors about Section 8 that certain areas, such as Dallas Housing Authority, uses very fancy technology to run comms, which is run by AI. Okay, so you cannot mess with that. But certain areas like Houston is still using people to run the comms, and those are happen to be lazy people in a lot of cases. So for a property I own that what's the address? Let me give me 1 second. Let me find that address. I'm gonna show you some. Yeah. So this property, because this is a really small little house and I'm able to get $2,600 rent from this. I just don't know how. See, the comps are really low. So this happens in certain areas. Okay. So a lot of times people go like watch my Section 8 like interviews and stuff, and then they use that strategy and they don't get numbers like I do, is because they're in different Section 8 authorities. So I want you to be very careful when marketing these numbers. You could potentially say 3,100, but maybe add a word up to 3,100 or something. So this might just happen based on what happened with my Dallas property that we just looked at. Uh,
Yeah, that's
let's
why I put that potentially in there.
let's check one more thing, and I want to tell you that is very important. So this is a 4-bedroom property. Even though it's 4-bedroom, I'm going to run it as if it's a 3-bedroom property, because 90% of the vouchers that are out in the market are in that range. So one funny thing is when we ran for 4 bedrooms, our range was in the 2,200 range. But now with 3 bedroom, it went up because maybe they're higher for one of the 3-bedroom vouchers in that area. So there is certain, like sometimes there are a lot of discrepancies with what Section 8 authority approves and what they don't. So just saying they're going to get 3,100 by default is going to be very dangerous. And if you build your strategy based on that, then yeah, it may not go as well as you thought. So be careful, I would say. So
Gotcha.
always build your strategy off of market rents and then hit it out of the park. Okay. And then improvise or improve your strategy. Do not build your strategy based on the extreme scenario that have 90% chances of failing.
Right. I think the market rents are about what she's paying right now anyway. So
Yeah.
just
So
off the
market
cuff, I mean,
rent,
does it look like it cash flows?
correct. Let me see. So the rent estimate is actually pretty good. Like we looked at the numbers, we are all in at, oh, sorry, this is not it. We looked at your numbers, we were at around 2,500. Just market rents alone are at 2,800. So that number is really going to determine your Section 8 number, which will probably be higher than market rent, possibly. So 3,100 might just happen, like we said, but just market it carefully. That's what I would say. And worst case scenario, you can always rent and cash flow. It's not gonna give you a really good ROI on your investment because the entry fee is high. But if there are a lot of buyers that don't really care about high cash flows, and this rent is going to improve over time anyways, so it will get better. So I'm sure there is a buyer for it, just not the buyer like a typical buyer would want to create a wraparound mortgage, and this area is challenging for that.
Gotcha.
Does that
Thank you.
answer your question, Sammy?
No, no, I just wanted to get your opinion on it. I just kind of ran some quick numbers and see what you thought.
Right. No, I'm saying, does that help you
Yeah,
move
absolutely.
with this? Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for bringing it to us, man.
Yeah, no problem. I'll bring you some more.
And let me just look at potential co-living. So I'm gonna just out of curiosity, I'm gonna run this Kingsville deal and then call it a day because I have my family banging on the door outside calling me.
Hey, Chad, real quick. Did I did I hear you say you're doing 2,300 on a single family?
Can you repeat the question?
Is it my
Did,
internet or
sorry, can you guys hear me fine?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying, did you say you're getting 2,300 a month for a single family?
for which deal are you talking about?
I thought it was a single family home, you said.
For one of Chai's deals that he was saying that he currently gets.
Right. Yeah.
I think he mentioned that
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
2,600 I'm getting on one of the houses. Yes. I mean, I'm also getting 2,800 on another house. Okay. Okay, sorry. Robert, I got your deal confused in my head. I was thinking of Kingwood in Houston area, but this is Kingsville where the university is. Am I right?
Yeah, it's Kingsville down there by Corpus. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that
So this
makes
is
it
a university.
interesting. Do what?
This is a university town, right? There is a University of Houston, Kingsville, or some university here, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
the
why.
one you're looking at.
No, I know, but there is there is some
Oh, there is.
university.
Yeah, there's something up by Houston like that, but
Oh, okay. Because I remember lot of kids, when I was in college, they went to Kingsville for some, I don't know which university there is. But yeah, let's see this real quick.
It's Texas A&M University, Kingsville, so.
A&M Kingsville. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Okay. 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom. So is this a
No,
duplex or?
it's actually, that's wrong. It's actually a duplex. It's
Okay.
it's actually 2 units. Both of them are 2 1s.
Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
was maybe converted at some point.
Why it's not clear.
Okay, so this is 1 unit, this is another unit. Okay, good. So 2 1 each side.
Yep.
Let's see, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Okay, so they're gonna rent for around 825, that range. So all in, you're getting around $1,600 in rent, most likely student housing. Am I right?
Yeah, I actually ran the comps. I looked at the college website, and all of their housing is it averages out to be over $700 a month per bed per year.
Right.
Right.
So your number are
So
81,000 to purchase. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I ran my comps at $500 a bedroom, so $1,000 on each side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right,
I think you
for
will
the
do
student
well if you
housing.
do it by the bedroom. If you do it by the bedroom, I'm sure you will do well.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I'm looking at it every way I can look at it,
yeah.
I would prefer
So
to buy it, fix it, and wrap it, but
that is also possible because I mean you have sales by wholesalers on fixed up duplexes are 140. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're all in. Try to stay under 100, everything. Are you buying cash or hard money?
It's only a cash deal. The guy won't accept terms.
No, no, but are you taking hard money for it or you're going to use it?
I would have to take hard money for it.
Okay. Yeah, I think even with hard money, the numbers will look okay, I feel like. But yeah, if you're going to refinance and hold it in your portfolio, I'm sure you will do well. I don't see why not. But make sure you have enough reserves. And if you need hard money on this, let us know. We can look at it.
Yeah, I'd
How,
like for you to look at it. The wholesaler's driving me crazy. She's wanting to know, if I want to do something or what, but
how,
I wanted somebody else to underwrite it. I want somebody else's opinion to make sure that, this is kind of my first deal since I've joined the community. So
the only thing is make sure it's like, I mean, go walk it. How far away are you from this?
I've actually been in the property,
Okay.
and I'm
Is
gonna
it
go
really,
back
is
next
it
week.
really dated or it's okay?
Do what?
Is it really dated? Like, does it need everything? Because 1940s property and 15,000 rehab doesn't sound right.
Well, the 15,000 was just if I put lipstick, right? If I put carpet and repaint and paint the cabinets that are there, and there's like one window that's cracked, and I was gonna put mini splits in it, and that's
Okay.
it. But if I wrap it, I'm gonna make it look like the one to the right.
Yeah,
The one to the right is for sale. It's on market for 220.
correct.
So I would make that one look like that one. Then you're looking at about 40,000 in rehab,
Yeah.
right? So, And these are just numbers I came up with. Like I said, I've been in the property once last week. I'm going to go back next week because we're looking at another job down further south.
Okay.
So I'm going to look at it again and get, better numbers on it, but I don't want to go through all that work if it's not plausible.
Yeah. No, that's I think if you're planning to hold it, I think you will do better holding it versus wrapping it.
Right,
Again, you are going to have to manage it, all these students changing rooms and collecting rent every month. So, but you will do well because $2,000 rent on 100,000 investment is almost 2% ratio,
right,
right? So 2% ratio is very hard to find in Texas. It only happens in small towns like Kingsville. So,
right,
I mean, I would consider that over wrapping it. Wrapping is going to make you same or less money,
right. It's a little
less
bit
headache,
less,
but
but
nothing.
yeah. And the good thing about it, the location of it, I mean, you can see it's literally just a few blocks from the university.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good for sure. Yeah, let me know. Call me. I think you have my number too, right?
I'm pretty sure I do, but I can get a hold of you.
Thank you for bringing this,
Can you
Robert.
hear me, Robert?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it. And so sorry, we have a couple more deals in my email, but we will probably take it on the next call. I
Sure.
apologize. I have to head out somewhere,
Thank you.
but we'll see you guys back on Saturday. If there is anything, please DM me on Instagram. I'm gonna drop my Instagram here.
This was amazing.
Got it.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Chai.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jada.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Yeah, thank
Have a
y'all.
good
Thank you so much.
and
Appreciate
Thanks,
all right.
y'all. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Have a good one, everyone. Good job.